So I'm an advocate for fun when it comes to language learning. I think at this point in my life, I see language learning as something I do for fun in my spare time, then I see it as work that I have to do, So this video, I want to share with you some things that I do to make it more fun, to make it less boring and all that, and hopefully you guys can find some use in this. So let's get started. So at the moment, I am focused on improving my Portuguese, and I'm in Lisbon right now, and I'm gonna be here for the next 1 month. So if there is anywhere in the world that I would rather be to improve my Portuguese, it would be here. I wouldn't wanna be anywhere but here. So there's actually a lot of things that you can do to make language learning more fun, but in this video, I'm just gonna touch upon 2 things because I don't wanna make this video way too long. The first one would be the 20-80 rule, or also known as the Pareto Principle. So whenever I learn a new language, this method is something that I always apply since the beginning, since I was a teenager, since I was in my early 20s, but I just never knew that it had a term until I watched Nathaniel Drew's video about language learning.
This is actually how language works. This is known as the Pareto Principle, also commonly known as the 80-20 rule. I've talked about this before. This applies to so many different domains in life.
That's when I thought, oh, there actually is a term for it. So it's called the Pareto Principle. So it's basically a concept that states 20% of your effort leads to 80% of the results. So basically work smart, not hard. And this actually applies to a lot of things in life. So for instance, when I first started to learn how to play the guitar, I started to learn the most common chords, like the C and the D and the E minor and the G. Actually, trust me, I'm not trying to flip you off. This is how G looks like on the guitar. But anyways, and by learning just these 4 chords, I can already play a lot of songs. It's like, I don't know, like Ed Sheeran songs or my other favorite songs that I can't really think of right now. And then by playing along to my favorite songs, I started to love learning how to play the guitar because I saw the reward right away. I experienced the reward right away, and that gave me the momentum to keep going. So I think that is actually the effect of the Pareto Principle that is not, I feel like it's not really talked about enough, or maybe I just haven't watched all of the videos out there about the 20-80 principle. I can just imagine if I had started learning how to play the guitar by learning about the music theory of how many notes there are in the frets, this and that, it would be really boring and it would intimidate me and it would kind of put me off. I would have the impression that, oh, learning the guitar is so boring. So that's actually one of the most important things about the Pareto Principle. It gives you momentum to keep going because it gives you immediate results, or at least a maximum result for the least amount of effort. How is it applied to language learning? Hi, this is Naila, post-editing. So let's take English as an example. So in the English language, there's a total of over 170,000 words. Do you need to know all of those words? Do native speakers even use all of those 170,000 words in their daily life? Like, heck no, not even close. So don't even bother learning all of those 170,000 words because ain't nobody got time for that. According to a BBC article, an average adult native speaker would know between 2,000 to 3,000 words. Advanced learners know about 4,000 to 10,000 words. Conversational speakers usually know between 1,000 to 3,000 words. And then there are basic learners who would know about 250 to 500 words. So these are basic language learners. So whenever I learn a new foreign language, I usually just aim for conversational level because that level is enough for me to have a comfortable conversation with native speakers about simple things that I like to talk about. And I'm happy with that. And once I'm at that level and I'm comfortable in speaking with native speakers without really needing to think about the grammar or how to construct sentences, then I would passively and slowly expand my vocabulary to, 4,000 to 10,000. So in every language out there, there are these 20% words that native speakers use on a daily basis. So those fancy, complicated words they would have to learn on an English exam or TOEFL, IELTS, SAT, or whatever. You wouldn't want to start there because these are fancy words that are probably very important in the academic world, but not necessarily in everyday life. So when I learn a new language, I usually try to learn the most common verbs first. Verbs that I come across every day: to sleep, to eat, to walk, to work, to play, to have fun. So I would try to learn all of these verbs and nouns that are around me first, that are relevant to my life in these target languages that I'm learning. That way I can implement these new words that I learn right off the bat in my daily life. My second tip is to engage with things that you enjoy doing. This tip might be very broad for you, but I think that language learning is subjective. So it's different for every person. So what I'm trying to say here right now is that you want to cater your way of language learning depending on things that you love to do, that you enjoy doing. For instance, if you just enjoy cooking, maybe you can watch cooking shows in that target language or learn a new recipe in that target language. If you just spend a lot of your time scrolling through meme accounts or Instagram, then you can find a meme account also in your target language. Because to me, that counts as language learning because you're exposed to the language. Or maybe you can find a public figure, a celebrity, or any other famous person in that target language. Or, you know, like let's say you want to learn Korean, maybe you can find a K-pop star or a K-pop celebrity that you might want to follow, because then it kind of gives you a connection. If you want to learn Japanese, maybe find a Japanese drama or an anime that you want to follow, so it gets you going, you know, it's more fun for you. Because language learning is actually very diverse and it can take place in any shape or form. So you want to mix the work and the pleasure. So I'm at a point in my life now where the pleasure in language learning is heavier than the work, so that's really fun. I also want to mention that things that you find interesting could also be problems that you're facing right now. For instance, I've always struggled with being organized in my life. I always lose my stuff, I forget where I put my things last, etc. So what I normally like to do is to find content on how to be more organized in the language that I'm learning. So how do I actually do that? I'm gonna show you step by step. Step 1, type out your problem on Google Translate and then translate it to your target language. So copy and paste the translation to YouTube search, and then when you see the result, find a YouTube video with closed caption, so with the CC symbol underneath the video. And then once you're watching that video, you can actually auto-translate the subtitles to your first language. And then I can just watch the video and train my listening skills while I read the subtitles. So one thing that's important about doing this is that it gives you a connection to that language and it makes you want to keep going. Because if you have no connection with that language at all, it's very likely that you would just kind of drop it off in the middle. So just in short, do whatever it is that you're already doing in your native language and just switch the language. So those are my 2 cents. So if you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, because then it will tell the YouTube algorithm that this is a good video and the algorithm will just push my video out there to be found by more people. I think I'm rambling. I will see you next week in another video.